Thank you, Thomas. Good morning. Ahoy to everyone. I just learned ahoy. We understand as well, right?
Ahoy, Andreas.
Hello,
my friend.
Thomas. Good to see you.
Good to see you
Thank you
again.
for the invitation. Yes.
You're always welcome.
Thank you
here.
very much for the invitation. It's a great pleasure to be here at Service Centrum SC. C for Circus, I understand.
Yes.
Okay.
Totally right. So what did you prepare for us?
I prepare for you a way to produce the perfect screens. As we all know, the screens are the tires when we think about cars. So it's very important. So we just learned from Sefar, from Roland, how important mesh is. And of course, the question is, how do we get the perfect screen? So that's the topic of my 750 slides, right?
55.
So
755.
don't be nervous. If it takes a little bit longer, tell me to speed up. I hope Grünig is well known, and I really hope even SignTronic is well known. This year is very important for us because we just put the green and the red flag together. We merged both companies. Grünig-SignTronic AG is the name of the new company. The vision is still the same, the perfect screen, right? The people behind are still the same, but it's one company now. What does it mean? We have the location in Schwarzenburg, Bern, Grünig. We are since 58 years on the market. We have more than 7,000 installations worldwide. We have a second location closer to the eastern part of Switzerland, not far away from Sefar, SignTronic location. We produce since 21 years nothing else than computer screen direct exposing technology. And more than 350 installations.
And your focus is always on screen printing?
I
Just
prepared a nice slide to tell exactly this.
What luck.
Correct. So today we have one company, two brands, Grünig and SignTronic, with one mission, the perfect screen. So both companies are located in Switzerland. We are really Swiss-made, which is sometimes a problem when we talk about prices, right? Our business is, to answer your question, 100% screen printing. We have no other applications. Screen printing is what we do.
And you have still a lot of jobs?
Sure. Screen printing is very stable, getting better and better. We fly a little bit below the radar, right? Screen printing is everywhere, but nobody knows. That's why we have to talk about how good we are and what we can do. So our focus, screen making solutions, that's what we offer from Grünig-SignTronic. Stretching, coating, washing, drying, frame preparation, talk a little bit more about that. Direct exposing, computer screen technology, of course, very important. And also important, G-Gateway, which is a new product. I explain a little bit more. We talk about data, analytic, control the processes.
And do you think we will see the G-Gateway today?
I'm sure you prepared something downstairs in the afternoon,
hope so.
right? So we are machine suppliers covering all sizes. You know, screen printing means very small screens, super huge screens. We cover all sizes, and that's why it's very important because we export 100% of all the machines to the global, to the world, to more than 50 countries. That's why customized solutions are so important. You know, sometimes we have to modify, we have to adapt, we have to follow your needs. Because SignTronic AG disappeared as a company, so a short history, the Generation 1 technology we developed 21 years ago. 2013, I decided to take over SignTronic, being the owner, together with my partner Marcel Grünig, so it's already 12 years ago, with the plan to bring both companies together, right? Very important during Corona. COVID time was a difficult time, but also a time to thinking about new solutions, new technologies. So we developed Generation 4. You see, Generation 1 technology, Generation 4 technology, with the multi-wavelength LED Q4.
And this is the best one?
This is, of course, if you ask me, I have to say yes.
And which,
but
and which we have in our company?
You are one of the first companies invested for this new technology with LED Q4. So you will see later downstairs how it works. And this year, as I already mentioned, we merged both companies to one company, still two brands. How do we see screen printing? Screen printing, as we all know, is unique. That's why we are so good and we are involved in so many industries. And very nice to see is, still alive. I remember a long time ago, 1996, they told us somewhere, FESPA, somewhere a long time ago, screen printing is dead. We have digital, the wave of digital applications. We are still here and we are very good. Our portfolio, we have 60% of all projects for industrial applications, whatever that means. Can be glass, can be the sensors, can be food, medical, ski industry, of course. We are quite active in ski at the moment. Sorry, I pushed too fast. Textile, 30%. Graphics, still graphic. We have still new installations in the graphic market. By the end of the day, it's a question of functional printing, industrial printing, decorating printing, screen printing.
Just the screen printing.
It drips. Getting wet. But it's not
you
beer,
are so
right?
good, so everybody's crying.
Okay, what I prepared for you, that was your question, Thomas. I want to highlight 8 important statements, 8 topics. How we see the market, how we see screen printing and the needs. For sure, perfect screens are needed. No question. We need the perfect screens. The screen lab, therefore, is very important. Create a screen lab with good conditions. Automation. Sometimes it's very hard to find people, operators, to produce all the screens, to do the printing. The more automation you have, the less people you need, the more output you get, right? Therefore, technology is needed. Simplification. Reduce the number of steps. Modularity. Start somewhere with a solution and grow. Modular concepts. And new concepts, of course. This is the highlight later on. 3 specific products I want to highlight, new concepts. And I don't know, this is something you're thinking about, but Industry 4.0, 5.0 is an important discussion in many countries. So these are the 8 topics. And now I want to highlight a little bit more and show you some details. Perfect screens. By the way, this is an exposed line. And this is the mesh with the thread. So it's quite precise, right? We follow the line.
And how do you do that?
By surprise. No, I mean, it was really a surprise. We found exactly such a situation where we have the parallel exposed emulsion along the lines. But it shows what is possible, right? So for sure, this is not the future. When we stretch, when we coat, when we wash, manual work, a lot of noise, a lot of chemicals, a lot of waste. That's not the way to do. We really need perfect screens. We need the 5% half tones, the 95 are open, the fine details. Yeah, this is needed. The screen lab. What means a screen lab? Screen lab means we have stretching processes. Maybe you outsource, maybe you do in-house. Coating machines. You shouldn't coat manually. Drying units. Washing means ink removing, stencil removing. Computer to screen, of course, the new technology. I mean, it's not so new, but it's needed. Washing after exposing means developing. The goal is one operator in your screen lab can produce the screens. Doesn't matter 50 screens or 100 screens, one person, one shift can produce the complete screens.
And do you think the print shop really need all these steps in his production?
Not really. The question is, do you have partners in a country like Service Centrum? They can offer to you ready-to-print screens, or only stretch the screens, or stretch the mesh, and you do the other processes. It really depends. But we see it's not everywhere in the world the same situation, right? In Germany, historically, there are many very professional screen making companies, and you offer this service as well here in Czech. When we talk about that, normally stretching is outsourced. So we created, that was also a result of Corona, we created a funny video to show what we are talking about. That's Clever Screen Edition 1.
Let me introduce you to a little secret. When it comes to screen printing and you're looking for perfect results, I am the one who makes the difference, as I am the heart of the printing process. Who am I? I'm the perfect screen. Please let me guide you through the top-level step-by-step screen making process that makes me flawless. First, I'm strung up and fastened tightly. When freshly stretched, I'm ready for the automated screen making. I then travel through the inline installation to reach the coating process, where I enjoy a luscious break. The coating must dry afterwards. This is done in the drying process. After that, it's time to put my shades on to relax again under the UV light as the pattern is laid out. When I'm sure I got the perfect tone, I put my trunks on for a quick shower to remove any residual. Now I'm fully ready to print. No need for retouching. Oh, and get this! Thanks to computer-to-screen direct exposing technology, developed by SignTronic, and screen automation technology by Grünig, the entire process is fully automated, preventing any dirty hands touching me ever again. As if this were not enough advantages, the process is sustainable and minimizes the environmental impact. Screen printing has never been smoother. Lower costs and improved printing quality. The perfect workflow for the perfect screen. Grünig and SignTronic, two innovative Swiss companies, work hand in hand to provide you with the fastest, best, most flexible, and cost-saving solution for your success. Could it be any more simple? Grünig and SignTronic, your partners in screen making. Clever, isn't it?
So keep the operators happy, right? Simplify and automate. Okay, so factory workflow, you know, normally where all the money goes, for sure all the money goes to the print room. You invest again and again and again for all the presses. Or the money goes to the new computers and software. But how do you feed the fantastic presses?
But Andreas, if I have a very good, expensive machine, my prints must be very good and fine.
This is correct. What we see, and for sure we will learn more from SPS a little bit later today. What we see today is camera registration. You know, you have fantastic machines, camera registration, everything is automated, standardized. But what if the screen is not good?
I don't know.
What if here the screen lab can't serve and feed the presses in a good way? Let's say you have 4 crosses. You have camera registration. So I used to say at least 1 cross fits and is perfect. What about the other 3? So camera registration is fantastic, but the screen must follow.
So the print result is good as the stencil is?
Absolutely, this is fundamental. That's why the perfect screen is the statements we use since many, many years, right? You know, it's like a car. It's the car and the tire, it's a teamwork. So the screen lab, what does it mean? A screen lab can be based on standalone machines. I mean, it's not needed to have fully automatic inline solutions if you produce 20 screens only. Important is how are you organized? For example, you stretch the mesh, you degrease, you dry. Or you use a screen service to stretch the mesh. You coat, you dry, you storage, computer to screen, develop, inspection. Inspection means just check, no retouch anymore if you follow the rules. You go to the print room, you come back, ink removing, stencil removing. So this is a possibility based on standalone machines to create a screen lab. And when we have a look to the machines we offer, can be a stretching machine, different versions of coating machines, different versions of dryers. Very often, by the way, the dryer is a weak point. It's very dirty, a lot of dust, and then you load coated screens to a dirty dryer. And what you create is dirty emulsion with a lot of retouch. Computer to screen direct exposing, developing washout, or ink removing, stencil removing. So this can be a solution for a lab standalone. And you know, when we have a look at the market, the most customers, they already have maybe a coating machine and some dryers. And then they develop step by step and create a very nice screen lab. Of course, the screen lab can also be more automated, inline automation. And what we created is a modularity. Modularity means you can start somewhere and you can grow. You can extend the solution according to your needs. For example, this is a SignTronic Stencil Master CTS machine. By the way, exactly the one you're using downstairs. You show in the afternoon, right?
Exactly.
And let's say you produce 10, 20 screens a day, standalone machine. And then you're growing because screen printing is booming, right? And you simplify processes, you get more orders, you're growing. So you add magazines, for example. You automate the process. And then later on you learn, oh, I need more automation. So you automate the next process. You automate the washout and the drying. Then you get a complete line. Or even you automate to the next level. You automate the coating and drying. And we have, I would say worldwide, maybe 50 installations doing exactly this configuration. Coating, drying, exposing, wash out, drying, ready to go. Or, that's a little bit theory, but it shows the possibility. You extend everything to the complete line. After print to the print, right? Normally customers, they cut here, sometimes here. So if you ask me, Thomas.
So do you have this
complete line we don't have. These lines we have a lot, and the most popular one is this line here.
So we are talking about the magazine, direct exposing,
yes,
developing, and then again magazine.
Developing also with the blow off of the water, because this is a quality aspect. Remove the water out of the mesh before you dry, because of lime residues in the mesh, very important. So, automation, the next important point. This can be a lab. Imagine in the morning you grab a coffee. With the coffee you go here, you load 10 screens, you choose 10 files, you start the process, the machine produces fully automatically 10 screens, you walk away and drink your coffee. And of course you do some other jobs, right? And this is how it works. Even here you see the modularity. There is no need to have a magazine here. It's also possible just load one screen, but in an inline automation. It feeds in fully automatically. We have self-positioning, clamping. Positioning means 0-point leveling. It's very important. Then we expose in a horizontal way. And of course, while we expose, you can already load the next screen, right?
And the same time is developing something else?
And the same time is developing. We will see right now, after exposing, the same screen goes automatically to the closed chamber washout. And here we develop fully automatically. Of course, at the same time, we expose the next. So it's a hand-in-hand process to automate. This is a screen cleaning line. Remove the ink, remove the emulsion. And you know, sometimes this is really hard work. Do it manually or, you know, chemicals everywhere, wastewater, a lot of pain and costs,
so
of course.
it's also the cleaners and water, it's circulating? So it
absolutely, we are reusing the water. We try to reduce the quantity of chemicals, of course, very important. Reduce the waste, etc. But most important is keep operators away. right? Because the dirty processes you should automate. And very interesting in the market, even the coating process we automate more and more inline. And what you see here is very interesting. The screens here are prepared with a permanent mask. So it's a permanent filler, right? And when we coat, we really overcoat everything and we expose everything. And what we get after this, ready to print screens. I should speed up, huh? I'm a little bit behind.
Yes.
Okay, I talk too much, sorry for that, but I speed up.
We have a lot of time afternoon. Andreas, please, about the new concept. Zde bych popravdě rád předal slovo našemu produktovému manažerovi, co se týče Grünig-SignTronic, opět Honzovi Binderovi, aby pokračoval místo mě. Užijete.
Thank you, Thomas, for your support. Hello, Jan, back on stage.
Hello. So we can continue together.
Okay, very good. It's a pleasure. New concepts. I want to highlight 3 steps or 3 processes. One is stretch and glue. One is how the hell can we remove the old glue and the old mesh? And of course, computer screen direct exposing.
Let's go on.
New concept means, or there is also a discussion in the market. Is it really needed to clean screens? Use chemicals, use water, a lot of waste? We have customers, for example, Polymark, transfer printing company in Portugal, Etiqueta, transfer printing company in Slovenia. They decided to destroy the mesh after printing. They always use fresh, new mesh.
So no decoating, no ghosts.
No decoating, no ink removing, no wastewater, no machines for that, no dirty room, nothing. They really changed the concept. Of course, on the other side, what do you need? You need this kind of stretching machines and apply the glue automatically, because you have a lot of more jobs to do stretching and gluing, right? And what you see here is, you know, sometimes you have a lot of small screens. It's very nice for small screens. So I want to show you a short video how you can see in this example how to place small screens, 8 small screens, straight or in an angle, according to your needs. Then, of course, you apply the Cephar mesh, PME for industrial applications or PET for other applications. You fix the mesh manually. This is still a manual process, of course. And if you start the whole process, then you tell the machine how to tension the mesh. What is the end newtons you want to have, warp and weft direction. The machine is doing everything automatically by itself. And then you apply the UV glue, fully automatically. And after apply the glue, you cure the glue, you harden the glue by using UV light.
So it's really no smell?
Well, there is also
almost no smell.
Comparing to 2-component glue, you apply, you know, with the brush. It's day and night, of course. The thing is, standardize even the gluing process, right? So, what is also interesting is how to remove the glue. The more you stretch and reuse the frames from the beginning, the more processes or the more hard work you have to remove the glue. Here you see an old layer of glue and mesh, and this should be the result, right?
But it's not a grinding.
It's not a grinding. What you can see, it is a machine very flexible. 4 medium screens, 16 small screens, to remove the glue fully automatically, only using water, high pressure water, no chemicals. So we use a nozzle with 1,500 bars, so it cuts the finger if you don't, if you're not careful. It's a lot. And therefore, I want to show you how it works. What is your statement or your question was, not grinding. If you grind screens, you destroy screens, right? You see, it's grinded, it's destroyed. How can you get a good tension? Not possible. So the goal is even standardize the stretch and glue process, but also standardize the cleaning, prepare the frames for the next job, this process. So that's why the G-Prep 370 from Grünig, mainly in operation, and you will see in the afternoon downstairs for professional screen services, right? They have the big need to clean screens. So you load the screen, you apply the parameters, where you want to clean, how fast you want to clean, and then you start the process. Of course, close the door. Remember, 1,500 bars is a lot, but also the vapors, a lot of vapors. So it goes up to 1,500 bars, but no chemicals, as I said. So here you see the spray, and you see immediately you remove the glue and the mesh, and you get the original surface. If it's sandblasted, you get the sandblasted surface. Fully automatically.
So the
Close the door.
operator can do anything else during the washing process.
That's what we said. If you have the perfect screen lab, he arrives with a coffee, he feeds the computer screen developing, and then he feeds all the other machines, and then he's traveling step by step to the next process. Absolutely. But this is really the big headache in our days: how to apply the glue and how to remove the glue. And of course, little bit more about computer screen. Having films is also a nightmare. This is the result. Perfect surface, ready to stretch and glue again.
We can saw that on the export down there.
Yes. So we have learned stretch and glue, remove the glue and the mesh. Next process is CTS. Who has a direct exposing unit here in the audience?
Functional.
You have one. Hey, Thomas, I know, we just talked about. It's quite an old one, but it's a direct exposing technology, right? You're using that. Because we really think we have to simplify, remember one of the slides, simplification, simplify processes. Computer screen is really how you can do that. So there is Clever Screen Edition 2. It shows what it means by using computer screen technology. I'm quiet now.
Hi, do you remember me? I'm the Clever Screen. If you're looking for perfect screen printing results, we should get to know each other. I'm the heart of the printing process and the one who makes a difference. While others need to make a huge effort to look good, I'm always fresh and flawless. It all starts at the film setter, where the other screens still have to get their costly films printed. This is a very outdated method, and these machines are very hard to hold of these days. Before these screens can continue, the team needs to inspect and proof the films. The films may then be ready, but the screens are far from being perfect. Mounting and positioning the screens requires a lot of effort. Finally, the screens go through a vacuum. This creates more problems, the most important being dust and scratches. No wonder these screens need a whole lot of retouching before they're ready to print. You want to know my secret? Ordinary screens have to go through a painstakingly long process to get ready. Not me. All I need to do is go to the Screen Lab. Thanks to SignTronic's computer-to-screen direct exposing technology, I just need to put on my shades and relax under the UV light. It's as easy as getting a spray tan, no matter what look I choose. Trunks on, a quick shower to remove any residual, and I'm ready to print. No need for retouching. Dust, distortion, scratches, and underexposure are issues I don't have to deal with. CTS direct exposing makes me look flawless.
Do you know this situation? How to handle the films, the scratches, the dust, the retouch, all the processes, the handling? Because this is exactly what we understand when we talk about one-step process. We want to kick out the film setter, the image setter. We want to kick out the films. Inspecting, correcting, check the quality of films, not needed. Mounting, positioning. Remember camera registration? We should have perfect crosses. 4 crosses, not only 1, right? So mounting film positioning, not needed. Vacuum, you know, the glass plate, dirty, scratches, contact issues, a lot of headaches. So we don't need it anymore. And retouch. If we follow the standards and the process, not needed. This is how we understand simplification. So some words about our portfolio. First of all, you see it's a very wide portfolio of stencil master CTS machines. I don't want to go deeper, a little bit, but important is the same technology for every model. Every model is related to size, screen sizes, and of course price and automation.
So if we define you the dimensions of the frame, the resolution, you have something for us.
Then we choose the correct size. The biggest frame we cover fully automatically is 5 by 12 meters. Imagine, installed in Germany for glass, architectural glass, 5 by 12 meters. This is a machine, the smallest one we have, the micro. What is interesting here is how to handle small screens, right? How to handle different sizes by using a master frame fully automatically. 3 frames, 3 images.
Different images.
Here, they print different images, of course, different frame sizes. Here we have 2 different frame sizes, 6 screens. We automate the process. So this is a very popular solution to expose small screens. Another machine, side loading, can be automated with a feeder on one side, or can be a complete line, different sizes. Again, the master frame. For Corona bottles, you can see 6 and 5, 11 screens at the same time. Special solution for easy mat registration with the registration holes, or Kaman, of course. So all kind of different master frames. They print pens, for example, or CDs, or sensorics and glass, solar, a lot of different.
So there is almost no limitation.
Almost.
Almost.
As we are in
like
screen
always.
printing, we have to follow the needs, right? With almost no limitations. A very short video, I skip it, but just to show you how easy we can place the small screens to the prepared position. So 3 and 3, 2 different sizes. We just apply, choose 6 files, drag and drop, and we start the process. If you want to see this process, later on downstairs is a SignTronic CTS unit that shows you how it goes. Here you see just drag and drop, 6 files, 6 screens, walk away, the machine does the job. And of course the machine does the job and you get always the same quality, right? Just some applications. But why SignTronic? It's related to our technology. Because what we do is we distribute hundreds of thousands of UV light pixels, right? So we distribute UV light pixels. So it sounds like magic, and sometimes it's magic. And I want to show you a very short video how we distribute the pixels. So everything is related to this exposure head. The exposure head here, of course, we have the UV light source, we have the optics, very important, and we have the DMD, the micro mirror chip. Most important for the quality, the sharpness, and the resolution is the optic. The size optics we are using in different resolutions, of course. By the end of the day is a question, how do we distribute the light? This is the DMD here. We zoom into the DMD. You see here 800,000 mirrors, and every of the mirror change position, right? And by changing position, we get, of course, the digital signal, yes, no, 0, 1, 0, 1, right? That's why digital screen making. So we control how to handle and distribute the UV light. That's what we do. This is our technology. But again, most important is the optic. We need a light source, powerful light source, and we need good quality optics. So DMD passing the optics and all the light goes to the screen and exposes. This is the way how it works, theoretically and practically as well.
It's
it
still
shows
magic for me.
Yeah, even for me. But we control this technology since 21 years, right? In generation 4 now. And what we decided to do is even here a modular concept. It's a little bit like Lego. You tell us your application, and then we say, okay, we choose a light source, UV light source. We choose the correct DMD to get the correct resolution. And of course, you can upgrade or downgrade. If a machine is in the market installed, we still have the possibility to up or downgrade. That's the modular CTS concept.
Good to know.
So we can upgrade your machine downstairs. If you are more and more industrial, we increase the resolution. It's possible.
It's up on Michael.
Michael, where is Michael? Hey, we talk later about that. No, but we have a lot of discussions in the market. What is the correct light source? The lamp, the laser, the LED, whatever. Theoretically, the lamp, the CPL metal halogen lamps are fantastic. Theoretically. Why? This is what you see, the yellow part. We start between 350 nanometers up to 450 nanometers. This is where we cut.
Huge
So
range.
in this range, we have a lot of power and we have a wide range. By using only one wavelength LED or even the laser, this is what you see here. The laser has 405 nanometer only. We limit the range of nanometers. We limit, let's say, the efficiency. And what we want to show with the LED Q4 technology is 4 different wavelengths, high power, wide range, but LED. Means no need to replace the lamps.
It seems to me similar like CPL, almost. or-
Yeah, it's almost the same power and the same range of nanometers to a CPL lamp.
Okay.
But water cooling, no impact of dust, stable results, better homogeneity, etc. So for sure, LED is the right way to go.
Only positives.
Only positives, I would say only positives. If we use and talk about multi-wavelength LED. Because that's another situation, you know, different emulsions, SPQ emulsions, diazo or dual Q emulsions, different wavelengths. So if we have a wide range of wavelength, we can cover without any problem all the different emulsions. Here I skip, we have already seen. When we talk about resolution, imagine 1270 means every pixel is 20 by 20 micron. This is by far the most popular resolution we use, but it should be 1270. We need the sharpness, we need the homogeneity, and we need the perfect mesh, the perfect emulsion, the perfect screen, right? But even here, we can go down to the 8 micron pixel for industrial applications. When we want to print the 30 micron lines, positive, negative, for example. Important is, in the SignTronic portfolio, we talk about real resolution, not interpolated resolution. And that's the way we expose in a horizontal way, bidirectional. You can see in the afternoon in practice how it goes.
Thank you for it.
Very short, but you know, sometimes the screens, we have a bow. They are not very flat. And what we do here, you see, that's the autofocus. So whenever we pass and expose, we measure the deformation of the screen for the next step. This is the curve here. The curve shows the bow of the screen, and we follow the bow. That's why the autofocus, you see the head is moving front and back. To be sharp all the time, especially for ski screens, right? They have a bow. They're very long and only, you know. So we have to follow by using autofocus technology. Industry 4.0, very short, but is something, especially in Italy, for example, they get financial help from the state. I don't know the situation, Jan, in Czech.
I think it's still better and better with it. European Union trying to finance it somehow, it depends.
The idea behind is automate as much as you can, standardize, get all the data, analyze the data, and make sure you have everything under control. That's what is behind. And of course, on the Grünig side, we decided to develop the G gateway. You know, how can we run a screen lab? Can we just scan the screens and all the parameters are going automatically to the machines and the machine knows how to code, how to expose? The stretching machine here, or the developing CTS developing line, or the coating machine. Everything is linked. That's the screen lab here, right? Everything is linked together. And you're sitting on your computer and you can see, oh, there is a problem. There is a sensor. There is the daily production capacity. Everything is shown, right?
Here is the operator which didn't produce anything.
Yeah, for example, yes, in 3-shift operation. So you see all the different machines are connected via the G gateway, which is a software product from SignTronic. And then we have the apps. You can use the smartphone to detect the frames. So we link everything together. And what we finally want to get is real-time data. We want to see there are problems, this is the output, this is the cycle time, you know, this kind of data. I don't want to be too long here. Failure detection, of course, is very important. So if a machine stops, you get a beep. Hey, the machine has a problem. Go there and solve. This kind of information behind. Or, of course, history data. And all this data we can also outsource to your computer system. So you can analyze and get the feedback. And you can take action. So you see free production capacity, for example, or the average program runtime. You get information, how much does it cost to produce one screen, for example? Do you know your costs to produce screens? Difficult question, right? Easy question, but difficult to answer.
Yes, exactly.
So, conclusion. When we talk about, remember, the perfect screen is needed. So, what is the conclusion still today? When we talk about the perfect screen, very often we use the wrong emulsion. We try to speed up, but the emulsion is only fast, but it's not the correct one. Doesn't make any sense. We still underexpose because we want to speed up, or we don't know exactly the performance of the lamp. It's an old lamp, so we underexpose and create problems and costs. Drying processes. We dry not correct means we expose wet emulsion, which is a nightmare, right? Pre-exposing of the emulsion means the screen lab is not well prepared. It's not a UV-free area. So we pre-expose. And of course, dust. Dust is our enemy, right? Wherever we have dust, we see costs and manual retouch work, for example, problems while printing. And still too many manual processes. So simplification is also needed in the screen printing industry. Technology is here. Of course, automation we can offer, and standardization is key.
That's
right?
the key to all.
So, I'm too long, sorry for that. But that's finally, it shows how good screen printing is. We really have no limitations in colors, in deposit, in substrate, in sizes. That's why we are super competitive. But we have to tell the world how good we are in our industry, right? Thank you very much.
Thank you too.
A very good job, guys.
Thank you for your
this.
presentation.
Thank you, Jan.
Nice job.